Hey, family, it's Coach Gene. Thank you for joining me again as it relates to the topic of breath work. I just spent a good amount of time just enjoying the process of sharing the 5 benefits of breath work. And so here on this uh, recording, we're going to be talking about the approach or breath work technique um, that will optimize your breath work practice. Things to keep in mind as it relates to breath work. Before we jump in, I just wanted to again thank you all for your support, your love, and your prayers for me and Dr. Dula. We at We Build Legacy really appreciate the love. You all know that we're excited about our call and purpose to create sacred spaces to help individuals manifest their healing and authenticity. We love to assist individuals with seeing their path, their purpose, and potential more clearly by reconnecting to their divine nature. So, with that, let's go ahead and just jump right in. When we're discussing and we're talking about the importance of breath work, we understand that with our daily lives, we have so many responsibilities. We're making connections over here and making connections over here that are necessary for us to take care of ourselves and our families and our daily processes in life. Um, this is a thing, talk about, the three major aspects in life is our bodies, our minds, and our spirit. Our bodies are composed of, relate to our skill sets. Our minds are composed of our intellect. And in our spirit or our heart is composed of our spirit, right? And in our lives today, unfortunately, society um, requires a lot from us related to our skill sets and our intellect. And unfortunately, the heart or our spirits go by the wayside. Breath work is that tool or that practice that actually assists us with making sure that we prioritize and give attention to our heart. And I stress this because with the skill sets and the intellect, if we only prioritize those uh, uh, avenues, then what we're doing is we're going outside of ourselves to be fulfilled. Where fulfillment comes from the inside out, and that is prioritizing the concerns of the heart so that the heart is actually in the driver's seat and giving us direction from our divine nature or from our blueprint or purpose in life, informing us how to move forward in life related to uh, the impacts we make at work, the impacts we make in home, the impact we make in other organizations that we attend. And we're not holding on to these false identities, going up uh, uh, with different titles and different awards and things. Those are all a part of the process, but they shouldn't lead the process. Our awards and our promotions should be byproducts of us walking out who we truly are authentically, and that we're not moving through life in fear, uh, with lack and separation. Um, I deserve to, or I need to do a lesson on that. And not spend so much time in that because that's really a passion of mine. I want to make sure that I get that point across and not be misunderstood as it relates to moving forward in life. Promotion and all these things are important, but it should not supersede us being promoted or moving forward in life, and it not resonating with our heart or our purpose. Because if it's not resonating with our heart or our purpose, when we get to those higher heights of promotion, then we have to turn around and say, thanks for all of this, but it doesn't resonate with my heart, and I'm not satisfied. But we've had our ladder up this building, and it wasn't the right building. We were building a building, or building a life, or building an identity, and then we looked down and we did all this work for nothing, because it was work that initiated a response from outward fulfillment and not inward fulfillment. And that's why I always emphasize breath work, because with breath work practices, we receive many benefits from the breath work practices. We receive body benefits. It optimizes the oxygen levels. We talked about that in the benefits. It also benefits our minds. We're infused with clarity and focus, but most importantly, it increases or builds our connection with God. It expands our intuitive awareness, or our feeling, not the emotions, but the feelings, that intuitive awareness about tapping into the pulse of our divine nature, or our blueprint, or our purpose, our superpower. So that when we are building a life, we're building from the inside out, and we're not scaffolding around truths that are important to our inward nature, to things that resonate with our hearts and who we really are. And we're actually building from a foundation and a platform that makes us feel true to who we are. Let's get into the approaches to breath work. That's what this video is about. The approach to your breath work. Things to consider. There are three things that I'd like to consider when I approach my breathwork practices, and I want to get my mind centered on three areas, and that's my physical environment, my psychological environment, and then my spiritual environment, right? And this enhances my breathwork practices. You can keep these approaches in mind. Now, there are several steps to this, 5 or 6 things that I keep in mind, but if you implement these on a daily practice, then they become, more or less natural. So from a physical standpoint, or from a physical environment, when we're talking about the body and your breath work, you want to, start in a comfortable position. Some people sit on the floor in a lotus position, some in a chair. Whatever posture is going to be comfortable for you. And then 2, you want to make sure that your back is erect, optimizing the flow of oxygen and energy in and out and around and through the body. The next thing is we, in our breath work from a physical standpoint, we want to breathe using nasal breathing through our nose. We talked about in our last video the number of benefits with nasal breathing as far as filtering the air, moisturizing the air, as well as pressurizing or regulating the air, oxygen that comes into the body. And then with that, with the nasal breathing, we want to accommodate a basic box breathing method. There are many box breathing exercises, but what we're going to do is box breathe using the count 4, 4, 6, 2. And that's inhaling for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 6, and then hold for 2. And then repeat that process over. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6, then hold for 2. The process, again, of exhaling longer than you inhale assists with down regulating the body or the immune system, putting you in a higher state of relaxation, coming out of that sympathetic response to the parasympathetic response, meaning that the body moves from fight or flight to rest and digest. It calms the body, optimizing the practice that you're about to put forth with the breath work. If you're meditating, this box breathing technique, this breath work technique helps optimize or amplifies the meditation. If you're doing Tai Chi or yoga, the breath work technique assists with amplifying that. Well, you wouldn't be doing box breathing with the yoga or Tai Chi, but in your meditation, that it assists, right? However, with the yoga or meditation, you want to make sure, with the yoga or the Tai Chi, you do want to make sure that your breaths are coming deep and full, and you're actually inhaling your abdomen when you inhale, or it expanding your abdomen, your stomach, meaning that the breath is coming down into the diaphragm, right? And you want your belly to expand when you inhale, and when you exhale, you want the belly to contract and to go to simulate like it's going, the belly button is going back to touch your spine. So you're inhaling and the belly is expanding, and exhaling, the belly is contracting. Again, we say, I know it's a lot, but just keep in mind these are things that will optimize your total breath work practice. Okay? So those are the things to keep in mind from a physical standpoint. Being comfortable, erect posture, nose breathing, and it'll be a box breathing type style. The basic one is the 4-4-6-2, and then making sure that your belly is inflating or expanding, inflating when you're inhaling, and then when you exhale, it deflates or it contracts. Right? Now, from a psychological or mental standpoint, where should we be in our breathwork exercises? Well, we want to clear our thoughts. Now, for some, this can be, a process depending on where we're at in our day or in season of our lives. There's a lot of things that were on our minds from yesterday, work that we should have completed or work that we have to complete. But when we devote or commit ourselves to our breath work, we want to be kind to ourselves, to mentally excuse or pardon those thoughts, and at our best clear our minds. And that can be challenging, but we don't want to beat ourselves up. And so that's why I say we want to be kind and polite to ourselves, to excuse those thoughts, or think on, if you can, of yourself sitting or standing or just being in a tranquil place, whether that is a park or at a lake or waterfall or somewhere in space, somewhere quiet and tranquil. And what helps with that is if that you choose your breath work practice to more or less be in a quiet space, where there's not a lot of noise, and where you can have a time of peace, preferably a room that you've set to the side, or a space that you've set to the side in the corner room as your sanctuary. or your place of worship, or just your place of prayer and meditation. And each day at that same time or around that time, if you continue to practice, small bits and pieces of segment of time, then it becomes not as a strain or a struggle. It becomes a little bit easier to quiet your mind, um, and to put yourself into a quiet place. So from a psychological or mind environment, uh, we want to clear our thoughts. And lastly, the third aspect, or approach to breath work, we want to consider our energetic or spiritual environment. And with that, I always encourage that we hold onto a proclamation when we inhale. And it doesn't have to be done the whole time of breath work and meditation. But when you inhale, I always like to consider inhaling light energy, just seeing light energy cascade, down through me. And when I exhale, um, I like to envision any energy that does not serve my highest good to come out beneath me into Mother Earth, where it is cleansed and recycled back, to me. Mother Earth knows what to do with energy as it relates to sequestering or cleansing the energy, and returning it right back to us, as it relates to meeting our needs 100%. And that this stage, or this spiritual environment, this third phase, it's almost like we want to hold an affirmation in our hearts. And so your affirmation could be, I heal myself. And so you could say that out loud, or you can say it in your heart or in your mind when you're inhaling and exhaling. I heal myself. And when you exhale, and then on the next inhale and exhale, you can use the same affirmation or another affirmation. I love myself, or I trust myself. Anything that words or thoughts or mantras that will serve your highest good. These are the three approaches that I use when it comes to my breath work exercise. So I just wanted to thank you for going back to the basics and reconnecting, as it relates to reconnecting ourselves to the fundamentals of breath work, so that we're making a conscious connection into source energy, right? So thank you. I hope these help. I will post a link in the video as it relates to the box breathing exercise. There's actually a breath work exercise YouTube video that I share with my clients that assist with that process. So you don't have to count it. Actually, the video counts for you. It's pretty cool. And if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out. You can go to webuildlegacy.com and contact myself or Dr. Dula, and we'd love to hear from you. But until then, we want to always encourage you to be great, be intentional, and above everything else, please be authentically you. Bye-bye.